All right, so we've spent a good amount of time today, I think, reviewing vocabulary from last week, introducing some new vocabulary for this week. Would you agree? We've watched some amazing videos. I personally love the crash course videos the most. They are my favorite. I sometimes watch them when I'm not even at school because I think they're so neat. Now, if you don't remember how to get to Pixton, you may go back into my Google Classroom, go to our slides, and come down here to slide number 5 and sign back into Pixton. I think you can just Google Pixton and it helps you to log in, right? And it's going to bring you to a screen that we've gotten to very soon, My Comics, and we're going to create a new comic. Before we create this new comic, I want to show you something that Pixton sent that I think is very interesting as we go into making our own comics today. Make sure you're paying attention and not working ahead. Tips to make good comics. Number 1, facial expressions. If your characters aren't telepathic or ventriloquists, you should probably use facial expressions. Do you see how their facial expressions can change in here? Like, you need to change that up if you can. I'm not going to sit here and go through the video. You have links to that if you need to watch it. You can. Don't forget to do poses. Like if you're literally standing in the exact same pose the entire time, like that would be very boring, wouldn't it? If it's just two people with their arms straight down, you can do that. I'm not going to yell at anybody if you're new to doing this, but it's just something to think about as we start making more comics as the year goes on. Change the focus in the zoom. Do you always have to be super far away from your characters? Do you always have to be super close up? If you've ever read a comic book, it bounces back and forth, and it makes the comic book, I think, more enjoyable. Okay? Different types of speech. You see the different speech bubbles? How that one really kind of makes it like jump out, like there's something they really need to do. And this is, what is the person doing here? They're thinking. You're welcome to use those as well. And then narrating with captions. If there's something going on in a story, it's not always in a comic book somebody talking. Sometimes there's like a little narration box that tells you what's going on in the scene and then the person talking below that. Please use those. It's going to make your comics even better. I think that's it. Yep, that's all it is. So today we're going to create some comics. Mr. Bullens, what are we going to do with these comics? Yesterday, you got to kind of play around and goof off. Today, I want you to focus on creating a comic where somehow, some way, you and one person, two people, three people are talking about vocabulary words in science, and somehow those vocabulary words get explained. I don't care if Leah pretends that she is the teacher because there's a background that's a teacher, and you're the teacher and you're teaching the class. And you're teaching about biotic versus abiotic. I don't care if you and your friend are sitting in the middle of the woods and you're talking about it. If you want to add that dinosaur in there, there's some very specific words that come across with dinosaurs. Carnivore, herbivore, omnivore. Those words need to be in your comic somewhere. I do not want, this is what I don't want. Isaac is not going to have a cell in the comic and say, "Hi, my name is Isaac. Abiotic factors are non-living things." And then the next thing be like, "Hi, my name is Isaac. Biotic factors are living things." Does anybody want to read that comic?
No.
Neither do I. You are creative young children. Your minds are going to do things that I'm going to go, "Wow, how did I not think of that?" Because you're going to do something. So again, you create a new comic. And so I'm going to label this one Ecosystems Vocab. Why? Because that's what the thing is. I'm going to hit continue. It opens me up into a plethora of things, and it literally tells you in here what you can do. Background, characters, focus, and words. So if I'm looking for a specific background, notice how some of them are locked. I don't have Pixton Premium. I don't know what the pricing on Pixton Premium is, but I'm sure it's ludicrous. So is it going to lower the amount of stuff that I can do? Sure. But this looks like a very familiar scene to me. Characters. As it slowly spins. Now, my class. Oh, wow. There's all the kids in my class. Right? That I can use to go through and put kids. I can put myself if I'm in there. I don't know if I'm in here. I don't think I'm in. Am I in here? What's it under? Mr. Bullens?
No, Charles.
It's under Charles. Let me go see where that's at. There's that nerd. Let's put that guy in there. Okay? Now, here I am. I can change my clothes if I need to. I don't need to do any of that nonsense because that's just, you can, but you do not have to. You're welcome to, but you do not have to. So here's my person. I can move him around the room. Again, I can put in, what am I saying? I can change the focus. Where am I in the room? Right? I can have me facing towards the person reading the comic, or I can pretend like there's something else going on in my room, and this looks like I should be talking to somebody else, right? That's all right here. Background, characters, words, faces. Again, some of these are going to be premium, some of them are not. So let's go with talking. And let's see. All right? That is the face I would make if someone didn't know their vocabulary words. But let's just have me normally talking. Here we go. And then actions. Okay? Talking, waiting, walking, holding, pointing, happy. And you can scroll down and see all of the different things that you can do. Right? It might take you a while. We have about 30 minutes of class left. Are you going to finish this comic today? Probably not. My job is going to be walking around making sure that you've done. Now, again, that's just one cell of the comic. When I'm ready to add another panel, I click Add Panel. If you get stuck on something, raise your hand and I will be there to help you out. Does that sound good? All right, anybody online watching this? Again, once you're in here, you have your backgrounds, your characters, your focus, your words, your face, and your actions, what your person happens to be doing. And here you go. You can see all the different things. You can have them facing one way, facing the other, facing forward. There's talking, angry, right? There's all sorts of stuff that you can do in here. Maybe I'm real mad. Whoops, that's not available. That's locked. But again, if it's locked, that means it's the premium version. If we get into this and like the premium version is just like the greatest thing ever, and this is like a class that loves making comics, I'll look into buying that. All right, I'll look into getting that for the class. But we already get GimKit, we already pay for Nearpod, we already pay for BlueKit, we already pay for Quizzes, and Factile. It gets expensive after a while. So if the kids love it, if everybody loves it, and we see some stuff in here, we'll come back and we'll do that. Sound good? All right, I'm going to log off with the video here of the how-to with Pixton. It's a 7-minute video, and we will hit pause.